tonight's Unity tutorial, I'm going to go over how to make an animation inside of Unity and then have a game object have that animation as part of its properties. Okay, so for example, here I have a scene and this funny face. It's going to have an animation component to it so that when I press play, the face just rotates and animates on its own. It's not any code that I had to write as a script. That's just one of the properties of that funny face game object. It just rotates all by itself with an animation that I made here inside Unity. So how do I do that? Well, I'm not going to start this tutorial like from scratch. You know, I kind of have a scene here with a low poly terrain and this face, but I'll show you what I did. So first off, where is the funny face? I think it's in here. I made it in Magic of Voxel. So I just had the funny face thing in Magic of Voxel. I just drag and drop it in the scene. Okay. And I have tutorials on how to create something in Magic of Voxel, then export it as a OBJ. There's 3 files that come with it. There's the mesh, the material, and then this other file. Then this is the OBJ, as you can see right here. I could just drag and drop it in the scene and start using it. So I had that funny face object. And all right, let's just do that. Let me just delete this funny face right here. And let me delete the things that I had here to do with the animation. So we could kind of start from, I just have a terrain. All right, so I take a game object, I put it in. All right, it's a little bit bigger. So that's the game object, okay? And then I'm going to create an animation controller. In my assets window, I right-click, create, add an animation controller, and I'll just call this my anim controller. And then on my funny face guy, I'll just drag and drop the animation controller. And then I have to make an animation to put on the animation controller. So the animation controller, if I double click on it, you see it's just a animation state-based thing. And I need an animation to be able to put in there. So let's go back to the scene view. I'm going to right click and I'll say create an animation. All right, enter. I'll just leave it with that default name. I may be doing something a little bit wrong here. So this is an animation, and then what I want to do is I want to start recording an animation. So I press record. I guess I have to select the object first. I'm going to select funny face. Okay, to begin animating funny face, I press this create button. So I press create, and now it's going to ask me for a name to save it as. Let's see if I could save it as this new animation thing. Save. Okay, and now I have this like timeline track. Now I can press record, and say here in position 1 is rotation I want to save. So let me just jiggle this a little, boop, and I got a rotation. And then here after 1 second, I think that's 1 second, I will have it rotate all the way around to here. Okay, now I can turn off the record and I can press play, and I'm seeing the animation. So stop. Now on the project window in the animation controller, you see here's the new animation that I made. New animation. I wonder if I rename it here as spin. Spin. Enter. Nope, it didn't rename, but I could drag this one in here, spin, and now I could delete that one, and now this one becomes the default animation on my animation controller. So now my funny face character has the animation controller it's going to use as the anim controller. Then if I look at the animation controller, when the game starts, boop, it's going to play the spin animation. Okay. Now if I look at the spin animation, I control the speed and stuff like that. And does it loop or not? Let's see if it's going to loop. So here I go to scene, I press play. Let's see if it plays in a loop. And it does. And there it goes. I added an animation. This was really quick. And not only can I add animations like rotating, whatever I do to the object could be recorded as an animation. I could change its scale, its position, and stuff like that. And as long as it's recorded, it'll happen. Okay, and that's that.